The 10 largest crabs on Earth. King crab only ranks third. The top species has legs spanning 4 meters and can live for 100 years. Crabs are among Earth's most extraordinary creatures. Over 4,000 known species have been identified worldwide. They thrive across oceans, rivers, and freshwater lakes alike. Their sizes vary dramatically. Some barely a few millimeters across, others grow large enough to rival a small car. Some are even capable of taking down a shark. Today, we explore 10 of the most colossal crabs ever found on our planet. When sunlight floods the golden shores of Florida, the world beneath the blue surface pulses with life. The Florida stone crab is a seasoned warrior of these waters, built for power and survival. These crabs patrol the seafloor, carrying their signature oversized claws. Stone crabs you see here can reach shell widths of 16.5 centimeters. They may not look enormous at first glance, but those claws are genuinely massive. Each claw serves a distinct purpose. One is the dominant crusher, powerful enough to pry open an oyster shell. The other claw is smaller, used for more delicate handling. They make their homes in shallow water, 30 to 150 centimeters deep, among dock pilings and rock crevices, and swaying beds of seagrass that provide natural cover. Like cunning sentinels, they bury themselves in sandy burrows, exposing only their claws while waiting to strike. Their diet is surprisingly varied. Fresh oysters, mollusks, polychaete worms, even seagrass and decaying matter all become a meal. Yet, despite those formidable claws, they are far from invincible. Horse conch, octopus, grouper, and even sea turtles count among their natural enemies. When it comes to survival strategy, the Florida stone crab has a remarkable edge each spring and summer. Females carpet the ocean floor with eggs, releasing millions at a time. Within a single breeding season, a female can spawn 4 to 6 times. This explosive reproductive output acts as nature's insurance policy, helping the species endure constant threats. But on the other side of this story stands a figure that complicates everything: the human hand. Each year, from October 15th to May 15th, Florida's crabbing season opens its doors. Coastal fishermen head out to sea, with specialized traps to catch these armored creatures. By regulation, fishermen are only permitted to harvest claws that meet the legal size requirement. The crab itself is returned to the ocean, in hopes that it regenerates what was lost. This sounds sustainable in theory, but reality tells a different story. Stone crabs that lose both claws can still move around, but their survival odds drop dramatically. Data from 2011 revealed that double-declawed crabs face a 62.9% mortality rate. Even crabs losing just one claw survive at only 59.2%. Monterey Bay Aquarium's Seafood Watch program has warned that current management is inadequate. They advise consumers to avoid Florida stone crab. So the question becomes, how do we continue enjoying this seafood while protecting these ocean warriors? Because in these sun-soaked waters, the Florida stone crab is more than a delicacy. It is an irreplaceable part of the ecosystem. Deep within the vast Atlantic, a creature known as the blue crab seems pulled from a fairy tale. This ocean knight clad in brilliant blue armor reaches 23 centimeters in length. Its gem-toned blue legs are long and powerful, its front claws like twin battle hammers. On female blue crabs, the claw tips are tipped in vivid red, like rubies on a royal scepter. The blue crab's life is nothing short of dramatic. Their journey begins in the saltiest reaches of the open sea. Though females mate only once in a lifetime, they release 2 million eggs in a single spawning event. Each tiny egg then faces the full brutality of the ocean. Newly hatched juveniles must survive up to 20 molts before reaching adulthood. Each molt is a test of survival. They may emerge with harder armor or become easy prey for predators. Only the strongest few survive the full gauntlet, hardening into proper shells, growing into the formidable blue crabs we know. The blue crab's diet is as fierce as its appearance. It consumes thin-shelled bivalves, crustaceans of all kinds, and when food is scarce, it will not hesitate to cannibalize its own kind. Throughout the hunt, those claws are the ultimate weapon. They crush clams, mussels, and the thickest oyster shells without breaking a sweat. But brute force is not everything. Blue crabs are masters of concealment. lurking silently in salt marshes and mudflats, using the tides to mask their approach. Each shift in the tide is their best window to hunt and move. They strike like ninjas, fast, precise, and utterly lethal. For communities along the U.S. East Coast, the blue crab is far more than a sea creature. It is a blue-tinted gold mine. Thousands of fishermen in the Chesapeake Bay depend on blue crab harvests for their livelihoods. In 1993 alone, Chesapeake Bay's blue crab harvest generated over $100 million for Maryland and Virginia combined. Today, those two states, along with Louisiana, remain the top crab-producing regions. Louisiana alone accounts for over half the nation's blue crab supply. But behind this prosperity lurks a quiet and alarming crisis. Blue crab populations have declined by 70% over recent decades. Breeding females have plummeted by a staggering 84%. Water pollution in the Chesapeake Bay, habitat destruction, climate shifts, and overfishing have pushed the blue crab to the brink. In the year 2000, Chesapeake Bay's blue crab industry was worth $45 million. By 2013, that figure had crashed to just $18.7 million. What makes this particularly alarming is that blue crabs are not just economically vital, they are ecological guardians. They regulate bivalve populations, preventing certain species from overrunning the ecosystem. They maintain the balance of salt marshes and coastal habitats. Every hunt, every migration they undertake shifts the dynamics of the entire food web. Yet this blue ocean warrior is slowly losing its battlefield. Scientists and fishery managers are working urgently to implement protective measures. These include harvest limits and protected no-take zones, as well as water quality restoration programs to rebuild their habitat. Whether these efforts will arrive in time remains an open question. In the bone-chilling depths between -1 and 4 degrees Celsius across the North Atlantic and North Pacific, the snow crab lies in wait. These colossal bottom dwellers can measure 16.5 centimeters across the body. Males commonly grow twice the size of females. Their shells are covered in tiny spines, like a coat of living armor, built to intimidate as deep-sea scavengers. Their menu is extensive: crustaceans, invertebrates. Even the spiny, defense-laden sea urchin falls prey to their claws. Like the blue crab before them, when hunger strikes hard enough, snow crabs will turn on their own kind in a brutal game of species survival. Life for the snow crab is not just about eating and fighting. Their reproductive output is equally astonishing. A single female produces up to 150,000 eggs per year, releasing them like scattered seeds into the frigid deep. In the right conditions, those eggs hatch into tiny juveniles who must immediately compete to survive. For adult snow crabs, the threats are relentless. Predators circle from every direction, but their greatest threat is the snow crab fishing industry. It generates roughly $160 million annually for the state of Alaska alone. Each winter, entire fleets of crabbing vessels brave the icy gales for a share of this frozen fortune. But behind those staggering revenues, an ecological disaster is quietly building. In 2018, Alaskan waters held 8 billion snow crabs. By 2022, that number had cratered to just 1.9 billion. This was not a gradual shift, it was a collapse. Scientists point to overfishing, but name an even darker culprit: climate change. As ocean temperatures rise, these cold water specialists are forced to relocate, venturing into unfamiliar territories and exposing themselves to new predators. Meanwhile, warming seas and shrinking ice sheets are destroying the nursery conditions juvenile crabs need to grow. Scientists fear these cascading changes could trigger a chain reaction, causing irreversible damage to the ocean ecosystem faced with the population crash. Alaska's Fishery Management Department made a historic decision in 2022, a total ban on commercial snow crab harvesting for fishermen who had spent entire careers depending on snow crabs. The closure was a thunderbolt. Livelihoods vanished practically overnight. Even as the ban offered hope for recovery, the human cost was undeniable. Now, the future of the snow crab hangs like Arctic sea ice, fragile and melting. Researchers are analyzing environmental data continuously, trying to untangle the full web of causes behind this collapse. Their goal: find a path that allows sustainable harvesting without destroying the population entirely. Along the rugged Pacific coastline of North America, one crab has earned genuine star status: the Dungeness crab. Its name traces back to the small harbor town of Dungeness, Washington, a quiet bay that once sheltered these delicious crabs, today from the Aleutian Islands of Alaska to Santa Barbara, California. Dungeness crabs have claimed the entire West Coast as their domain. Undisputed rulers of the deep, the Dungeness crab is immediately recognizable. 4 pairs of armored walking legs and 2 uniquely shaped claws. Those claws end in hooked tips, perfect for defense and ideal for dismembering prey, fast and efficient. Their legs are shorter than most crabs, but extraordinarily strong. They walk the seabed with precision and dig into sediment instantly. On average, an adult Dungeness crab's shell spans 15 to 18 centimeters in diameter. But what is truly remarkable is how fast they grow. Each time they molt, their body volume surges by 15 to 25%. During the first 2 years of life, young Dungeness crabs molt up to 6 times a year. The heaviest on record tips the scales at 2 kilograms, enough to make any seafood lover's mouth water. And rightfully so, the Dungeness crab is celebrated for its meat, tender, sweet, and delicately flavored. Whether steamed, stir-fried, or prepared as a fresh crab salad, it delivers a world-class culinary experience. Not surprisingly, the Dungeness crab became the crown jewel of the seafood industry. Commercial fishing began in San Francisco as early as 1848. Today, harvesting Dungeness crabs is one of the most valuable fisheries on the West Coast. During the 2022-2023 season, California alone declared a harvest worth $54.4 million to ensure the population remains sustainable. Strict regulations are enforced. Only male crabs are permitted, and only those with hard shells at least 15 centimeters across. Fishermen must also hold valid commercial permits to ensure the supply chain remains intact for future generations. Encouragingly, since 1970, even with legal males representing 66% of the harvest, the overall population, the Dungeness crab has held its own and stayed relatively stable. But even so, 9 to 25% of soft-shell crabs still die as collateral from fishing activity. Protecting this delicacy for the long term remains a work in progress. As its name implies, the giant mud crab inhabits tropical and subtropical seas, a titan among its kind. Its range spreads from the mudflats of South Africa to the reefs of Southeast Asia. You will even find them in Hawaii and Florida. Their shells range from deep green to muddy brown, natural camouflage that lets them vanish into the sediment below, waiting for prey to wander too close. That disguise works perfectly. Adult giant mud crabs reach shell widths of 28 centimeters and tip the scales at 2.72 kilograms. As a species, they are known for their raw ferocity. Inside that thick-set body lies a cavernous stomach, capable of consuming extraordinary quantities of seafood as full carnivores. Their menu spans from crustaceans to fast-moving fish, and they are never fussy about what they eat. Beyond their ocean dominance, the giant mud crab has conquered the culinary world as well. In Asian food culture, they are the showpiece of any seafood feast, in Taiwan especially. They are affectionately called the red crab, often paired with garlic and black bean sauce, or simply steamed to perfection, letting the sweet, rich flavor speak for itself. Just one bite lingers long after the meal. Naturally, such high demand places intense pressure on wild populations. In certain high-demand regions, harvesting has been relentless. In Hawaii, local authorities have responded by banning the capture of crabs. With a shell width below 15.24 centimeters, at minimum, this buys the population precious time to breathe and recover. Whether that is enough, only time and careful management will tell. The giant mud crab's survival hangs in the balance. On a windswept sandy beach, if you are lucky enough to glimpse a brown crab ambling by, that familiar reddish-brown shell will instantly spark your appetite. The brown crab reigns over the North Sea and North Atlantic and commands equal respect. In the Western European seafood market, its broad, oval shell stretches to 25 centimeters with a crimped edge that resembles the crust of a pie. But even more striking are those black-tipped claws. A clear warning to any would-be challenger. Adult males weigh up to 3.7 kilograms. Genuinely hard-bodied heavyweights. In the brown crab's world, survival is a never-ending battle. They remain perpetually alert, never truly sleeping. By day, they tuck into rock crevices and rest. At night, the brown crab becomes a nocturnal predator, slipping out silently. This vigilance and strategic movement contribute to their average lifespan of 25 to 30 years. In ideal conditions, some individuals may even reach 100 years. But this so-called ideal is rarely achieved because the brown crab is simply too delicious. A full third of its body weight is edible meat, and that meat carries layered, complex flavors. Male crab meat is tender and sweet. Female meat carries the richness of deep crab coral, whether steamed, roasted, or prepared as a classic crab soup or crab pie. The experience is unmatched. And equally important, brown crab meat is not just delicious, it is nutritious. Rich in high-quality protein and vitamin B12, it is one of the best options for a healthy diet. With demand this high, Britain and Ireland's coastal fisheries land over 60,000 tons of brown crab every single year. Numbers like these raise serious concerns. Fortunately, female crabs compensate somewhat, each carrying up to 3 million eggs after mating. British regulations also protect the species, requiring that harvested crabs have shells at least 14 centimeters across, with egg-bearing females. Completely off limits. Known as the world's largest land-dwelling crustacean, the coconut crab has earned the nickname robber crab, and that reputation is well-deserved. These bold, brazen creatures roam tropical islands with total confidence, casually swiping food left behind by unsuspecting tourists. They have even been known to raid campsites, leaving people completely bewildered. In terms of sheer size, coconut crabs push the limits of what a crab can be. They can weigh up to 4.5 kilograms, with legs stretching a staggering 1 meter. A sight that is both magnificent and terrifying. Even more remarkably, these crabs can lift objects weighing up to 30 kilograms, roughly the weight of a 10-year-old child. So, if you ever see an enormous crab snatching your backpack and bolting, that might not be a dream. Coconut crabs inhabit islands, scattered across the Indian and Pacific Oceans, especially near coconut palms. The densest populations are found on Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean, but do not be fooled by the name. Coconut crabs do not only eat coconuts, sweet potatoes, papaya, nuts, and even the heartwood of rotting trees can all become a satisfying meal. More surprisingly, these creatures occasionally act as island scavengers, feasting on animal carcasses. One widely circulated legend even suggests that the 1937 disappearance of legendary aviator Amelia Earhart may somehow be connected to these island giants. Worth mentioning too, coconut crabs are not just physically powerful, they are deeply territorial. They live alone, digging deep burrows in island terrain, sealing themselves inside. In personality terms, they are the ultimate introverts. Interestingly, reproduction for coconut crabs is a perilous ordeal. Adults mate on dry land, but females must make a dangerous journey back to the ocean to release their fertilized eggs. The problem? Coconut crabs cannot swim. If they fall into the water, they can last only about an hour before drowning. After eggs are released successfully, hatchlings drift in the ocean for 3 to 4 weeks, enduring wave after wave of danger before finding a shell for shelter and beginning their life on land. As they grow, they molt repeatedly, increasing in size, until they finally abandon a shell entirely and rely on their own thick exoskeleton. Growth is painfully slow. Reaching full size can take 40 to 60 years, and coconut crabs live an average of 60 years, with some reportedly reaching 120. So the next time you encounter one of these giants, treat it with respect. It may be older than you are. The red king crab is the largest of all king crab species. It truly deserves a crown. Its shell alone spans 28 centimeters. Its legs extend an extraordinary 1.8 meters. Its body can weigh over 10.5 kilograms. It moves like a spider tank across the ocean floor, commanding and utterly fearsome. This king prefers the coldest of seas. It favors environments where temperatures hover near freezing. The Bering Sea and Gulf of Alaska, perpetually icy, perpetually dark, are its natural kingdom. But do not assume it stays confined to these frigid corners. True to its name, the red king crab is highly ambitious. In the 1960s, humans introduced it to the Barents Sea, hoping to develop a new fishery resource with no natural predators. This deep-sea invader began spreading at breathtaking speed along the coastline. Armed with remarkable adaptability, it will eat virtually anything: algae, seafloor creatures, soft mollusks, sea urchins, small fish, even other crabs. Their conquest mirrors the plundering raids of ancient Vikings, overwhelming the resistance of native species, sending shockwaves through entire marine food chains. Yet even this unstoppable conqueror has one weakness: human appetite. In 2022 alone, Alaska's red king crab harvest exceeded 2 million kilograms, valued at $43 million. The meat is rich, dense, and exquisite, especially the thick claws. That sweet, firm flesh inside is utterly irresistible. Global demand for red king crab needs no explanation, but that insatiable appetite is now fueling a dangerous overfishing crisis. Facing a sharp population decline, scientists have proposed multiple explanations: climate-driven temperature fluctuations, excessive harvesting, and growing predator populations, perhaps the very traits that made it such a dominant predator. Now leave it vulnerable to rapid environmental shifts. Its armor cannot shield it from a warming world. The red king crab is a marvel of nature. It delivers extraordinary pleasure to the table, while sounding urgent alarms for ocean conservation in an age of limited resources and accelerating change. How we balance our appetite for its meat with the responsibility to protect it has become one of the defining environmental questions of our time. In the cold, deep blue waters off South Australia, a creature moves, like a colossus between rock and sand. Its name, the Tasmanian giant crab, weighing up to 17.6 kilograms, with a shell width reaching 46 centimeters. The Tasmanian giant crab calls the deep waters off southern Australia home, preferring depths beyond 820 meters. Down there, jagged rock and thick sediment form its personal fortress. The ideal water temperature for them, 12 to 14 degrees Celsius during summer months. They cluster between 110 and 180 meters depth. Come winter, they descend to 190 to 400 meters. Like deep-sea vacationers seasonally changing their retreat, the Tasmanian giant crab is visually striking. A pale yellow base spotted with white and accented with vivid red, making them look like living artwork drifting through the gray deep. In the darkness of the abyss, they glow. Male crabs wield one massively enlarged claw, making each one look like a contestant in a deep-sea bodybuilding contest, flexing an arm that rivals the rest of its body, every male showing off. Its one extraordinary claw, that single, oversized weapon, stands in sharp contrast to its normally sized counterpart, creating a fascinating asymmetry. Females, by comparison, are more understated in their build, but no less formidable in presence. Even without that muscular claw, they command respect. The reproductive cycle of the Tasmanian giant crab borders on miraculous. In June and July, females carry up to 2 million eggs, tending them for 4 months. Once the juveniles hatch, they drift for 2 full months through open water, enduring the ocean's full trial, before finding a place to settle. Unlike most crab species, adult females molt only once every 9 years. This extraordinarily slow growth strategy lays the physical foundation for their colossal bodies. In 1992, the Tasmanian giant crab entered the commercial seafood market almost overnight. It became a symbol of luxury on the plate. The meat is springy, sweet, and deeply savory. Whether steamed, grilled, or folded into a thick seafood bisque, the Tasmanian giant crab consistently reigns at the top of any seafood menu, a delicacy born from the deep one of nature's finest gifts. But that gift cannot come at the cost of the wild. In the 2024-25 season, total harvest was strictly capped at 20.7 tons, yet still generating $1.31 million in revenue. That figure illustrates just how prized this species is, as market demand keeps rising. Sustainable harvesting practices become non-negotiable. The hope is that future oceans will still hold the Tasmanian giant crab, striding boldly through the deep blue, writing its ancient legend anew. If you have ever been unsettled by Japanese horror films, prepare yourself. Lurking in the southern seas of Japan is something that looks like nature's nightmare, a creature engineered for dread. Its spider-like legs span a full 4 meters, echoing the unsettling aesthetics of Japan's most iconic horror imagery. It stalks the ocean floor in silence, ready to deliver a devastating pincer-driven strike. The Japanese spider crab is one of the world's largest arthropods ever recorded. Its leg span alone, up to 4 full meters, makes it the widest-legged animal on Earth. Its body shell measures 40 centimeters, yet the total weight can exceed 19 kilograms, a slow-moving deep-sea tank, drifting through its underwater territory. Majestic, unmistakable. There is something strangely compelling about this creature. Its orange body, covered in white spots, terrifying and adorable simultaneously, oddly disarming. What is interesting is that despite its fearsome hunting potential, the Japanese spider crab rarely bothers with the chase. Instead, it prefers scavenging, feeding on dead matter, the ocean floor's cleanup crew. This laid-back, opportunistic approach reflects a deep intelligence and patience. Why exhaust energy hunting when a meal will eventually come to you? These giants can live to 100 years, making them ocean elders of extraordinary depth. Encounter 1. And you may be facing an animal that has witnessed decades of deep-sea change, countless storms, and entire ecosystems shifting, a living piece of ocean history. Remarkably, spider crabs are not solitary by nature. They form large groups, creating a kind of undersea colony with a clear social hierarchy. A dominant crab king presides over the group, defending against rival crabs and occasional deep-sea predators that dare to test the colony. When necessary, even sharks can fall victim to those sweeping legs, yet no legend, however grand, seems exempt from the reach of human appetite. The Japanese spider crab is a prized delicacy, commanding the finest tables at prestigious banquets. And overfishing has followed inevitably. In 1976, annual catches still stood at 24.7 tons. By 1985, that number had collapsed to 3.2 tons. To address the crisis, the Japanese government acted, banning all fishing during breeding season, January through April, each and every year. Additionally, Japan launched a juvenile release program, actively returning young crabs to the ocean to boost natural population recovery. Ultimately, the Japanese spider crab's appearance and behavior have captivated human imaginations for centuries, providing priceless insight into deep-sea life. And the science it inspires continues to push the boundaries of ocean knowledge. The hope is that these protective measures will successfully rebuild the population, allowing the Japanese spider crab to continue its slow, majestic patrol of the deep, as one of the most storied inhabitants the ocean has ever known. And with that, we close the book on today's deep dive. 10 of the largest crabs on our planet, each a marvel in its own right. Which one left the biggest impression on you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves the ocean. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one. Until then, stay curious,